Yeah, I think now it is set. Once again, welcome everyone. And today, what we are going to do, we are going to discuss the learnings from the certified copies that I had reviewed. I had reviewed more than 150 copies, and there is a pattern. And in this video, I'll give you some tips, some tricks, and if you implement those, definitely your result in the next examination will change. We should learn from mistakes of others and not repeat the same mistake in our examination. One more thing, do watch this video, spend 10 to 15 minutes of your time, and I'll tell you this can change your FR score by at least 10 to 12 marks. Okay, so we'll talk about mistakes, learnings, and how to get exemption, and I'll give you a very, very good framework to target exemption in FR, because of late what is happening, audit has become a huge challenge. AFM is doing good, FR also has to improve. So that's what our focus is. Now, a quick recap of the type of questions which were asked in May 25 examination. Question number 1 was kind of repeat, not 100% repeat, but mix of repeat questions. 2A was 100% repeat question. Then 4A was a easy question. In fact, very, very easy question, I would say, from property, plant and equipment, asking students to prepare ledger accounts. 4B was again repeat and easy. 5C was also easy. 6B was also easy. This itself accounted for 55 marks. Our target is, out of these 55 marks, can we get 40? Can we get 40? And I'll tell you what kind of mistakes students have made so that you don't repeat those mistakes in your paper in the upcoming examination. First one was Ind AS 103, and I have seen this issue with a lot of students unable to compute purchase consideration or in some cases identifiable net assets correctly. Ind AS 103 and Ind AS 110, students generally feel that these are scary chapters, these are bulky chapters, and hence we ignore them. Now, of course, it is a bulky chapter, sometimes adjustments can be complex, but if you get a question which is almost lifted up from the past paper or study material, this is one chapter where you can target 10 marks at least. How to do that? Practice 4 to 5 attempt questions on your own. Not that you have watched some video lecture, some revision lecture and you say that yes, I know the answer. Not that way. Put pen to paper and practice 4 to 5 attempt questions of Ind AS 103 and Ind AS 110 and figure out where are you getting stuck in those questions, because helping us is stepwise marking, and if you do it even 70-80% correct, you can get 10 to 12 marks in this particular question. If you want to understand the approach, you can watch my revision lecture. In 90 minutes I have told you how to approach and the key aspects that you need to take care for Ind AS 103, same way for 110 and also 109. Then coming to Ind AS 109, here I don't know where did the students get this learning. They have recomputed present value of cash flows at commencement and also at the time of modification. So at commencement what has happened is they have taken the original rate and they have recomputed the present value, because of which there is some difference, and because of that difference they have not got marks. Now if you ask me, sir, is it not correct to do present value? Absolutely, technically there is no mistake. Present value calculation, whatever you have done, there is no mistake in that. But when the transaction price is available, when the transaction cost is available, why do you need to recompute again? And many students have again recomputed considering 15% discount rate. There also some 7,000 or 4,000, some difference has come. Logically correct. But when you have similar question from the past, this is a repeated question again, there is a particular treatment that ICAI has given. Please do the same treatment. Practice here also, practice is required. Then Ind AS 33 question, EPS, I was surprised to see structure was missing. When I say structure was missing, randomly students are writing data points here and there. That you should not be doing. Use a tabular structure. If required, take the help of the suggested answers that I have provided. That will save you time. That is the whole intention. This was heartbreak for me. I know the question was lengthy. This was a foundation level question, except for that, a brief impairment or, kind of a thing. Other than that, preparing ledger accounts should not be a challenge here. 6 marks question, and because we ignore easy chapters, journal entries, ledgers and all, I'll show you some examples. Some students, because of examination pressure, have written 2 on the buy side, buy on the 2 side. So that is where we should not ignore easy chapters, because If you do it right, you can get 6 out of 6 here. Okay, that's one thing you have to keep in mind. 102, lot of silly mistakes. Share based payment. See, there are only 3 or 4 type of questions which get repeatedly tested from this chapter. Please practice. I know you know the concepts. I know you know how to solve the question. But if you don't practice before the examination, and it is clearly lack of practice. Okay, after seeing so many papers, it cannot be that you are not conceptually aware. If you are able to do 1 or 2 steps correctly, remaining steps also you are aware of. So in the examination pressure, lack of practice, that is what is causing harm. Now, why I focus on these type of questions is here you can score out of out. There is no way examiner can deduct marks. Of course, one unlucky student, where just I put the thing here, the luck factor or blunder from the examiner. Here he has done everything correctly. He should have been given 8 marks. That was not given. I think it is more a error than also a luck factor. And also the factor is that even if these 8 marks are given, aggregate, there is some shortfall in aggregate. The student has returned to the examination department. Let us see what is the outcome. But other than this, I have not seen blunders from examiner's side. So here we cannot make silly mistakes. See, whatever questions we select here, in this 55 marks, 40 marks if you are able to score plus 20 marks from MCQ, we are done with exemption. We cannot make silly mistakes, and the only way to avoid silly mistakes is to practice. It is to practice. Then excess theory. Now, not only in current, non-current, I have seen this in other questions also. In days 2 questions, why do you need to write so much of theory? Then the question on impairment, why do you need to write so much of theory? Then there was one more question on share based payment also, and once also on Ind AS 109. Don't write too much theory, because if the question has asked you to compute, just compute and maybe 1 or 2 lines you can write as theory. Excessive, I'll show you some examples, full page theory, you will not get marks. You will not get marks for the knowledge you have. You will get marks for what you write in the answer book. Alright, so that is one. Of course, luck factor, I found only one case out of 150 plus copies that I have seen where the student was not given marks. Now, presentation, please improve the presentation. And I am not trying to make fun, or I am not trying to demean any student. If you write like this, it's very difficult for the examiner to understand. Here, this theory, whatever is written about this theory, no marks will be awarded. Okay, it's just a 6 mark question, and in that also if you write so much of theory, marks will not be awarded. Here you see too much of theory, extra theory. This question, significant modification, explanation. You see, they'll put a tick, but you will not get marks. You will get marks only for computation. You will get marks only for computation. You will not get marks for writing theory in the examination, especially when the question is asking you to compute. See, if the question is asking you to explain the accounting treatment, then go ahead and write theory. Again there, don't write long theories. Highlight the keywords and write as simple or as briefly as possible. Then, examination pressure, I feel bad and also sad at the same time. I am not blaming the student, because FR being the first paper, we are bound to be under huge pressure. And see what has happened? By 2, right? So 0 marks. Here at least the amounts were on the opposite side. Examiner was considerate, I would say, and has given some mark, though they have written to depreciation, by balance brought down and all of that. Just 2n by is problem because of, or maybe he would not have seen, that's another possibility, that marks was given. Here also see 2 cash to bank. Now why has that happened? That has happened because we are under tremendous pressure. So that is where deep breathing exercises, deep breathing techniques help you to calm down. Because how bad will you feel, or how bad as a teacher I feel is, the student has calculated all the numbers correctly, posted everything properly, but debit has become credit, credit has become debit. So examination pressure we should try to avoid. Then specific comments from examiner also I have tried to pull on. Here, failed to calculate fair value of INA, deferred tax asset, they also have made mistake. Okay, many examinees did not prepare notes to account, and they did not prepare the balance sheet in Ind AS format. Now tell me, why cannot we prepare the balance sheet in the given format? I know you get the amounts for marks for amounts written, but at least put some effort and improve the format. it's not about whether it is right or wrong. Some little effort extra, it will make the examiner's job easy. Okay, because you never know if you get some examiner, because the balance sheet is not in India's format, he can give you 0 also, and you cannot go and ask because you have not prepared the balance sheet as per the format. Question number 2A, here the problem was, as I told you, fair value was computed again. They again made recomputing the carrying value of loan on change of loan term. So because of this, there was a mistake. Especially when there is a repeated question, we should avoid that. Several examinees committed mistake in calculate the amount to be transferred to revaluation reserve. Now tell me, such a basic question we have been doing since CA Inter. Some part of this is even taught in CA Foundation. Practice is what is needed. And this on India's 2 also, some examinees earned in computing benefit expense. So that is where we lose marks. So I have given some specific recommendation here. Large part should be practice, and don't write excess theory. Have better structure. Please have a better structure. Try to use tables as much as possible. That will save you time, and also it will make examiner's life slightly more easier. Okay, so that was my learning from whatever I had reviewed. And if you have any questions, those of you who are watching live, if you have any more question, any more clarification, you can feel free to ask. But yes, the way to approach in the examination is, the moment you get a question paper, the first thing that you should be doing is figure out easier questions. You will find some questions which are easy, some questions which are repeated. Figure them out first, target them. Try to ensure at least 20 to 30 marks of these questions you do when your mind is fresh after MCQs, and get maximum marks there. That will push your score from 50s to 60s. And yet, as I told you, first paper, there will be a lot of fear factor. And for that, the only way is meditation, mindfulness, being present, and understanding that yes, I know. And yes, there will be some complex question that is complex for everybody. So that part you can ignore. Practice, and yes, don't ignore easy chapters. A lot of the students tend to think that easy chapter, easy question. Just think of it, no? There was this India's 2 question, which was repeated in nature. You have done the same question in Inter also. Same question you are doing in final. Half of the students, certified copies that I have seen, they have made mistake there. Okay. Why? Because inventory, we know it, so we don't need to study. That will not work. You have to practice, you have to revise. And when I say revise, you may watch revision videos if you want to. Please don't feel that because you have seen something on the screen, you will be able to do exactly same in the examination. You have to put pen to paper and practice before the examination. Alright, I hope this video will be useful to you, and please share this video with your friends as well so that even they get benefited. Any more questions, put down in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to address them. Thank you.